Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about Stream Decks again. This is like the fourth video I've done on Stream Deck related things. One with just the Stream Deck and the pedal itself unboxing, and then another one on just more things I've done with it. But today I'm going to be talking about the problems with Stream Decks that I've had in the past. So I have both the Stream Deck Mark II and the new Stream Deck pedal. Now, I will say to start with, great products, very useful, and they work pretty well most of the time. But they do have some issues. So I'm going to go through those issues in this video over the next 10 minutes. Now, I will say that the Stream Deck software is quite good most of the time, as is a lot of Elgato's other software. So I also use Wavelink because I do have the Wave XLR as one of my audio interfaces, and Elgato's Wavelink software is pretty good, and the integration with the Stream Deck is pretty good. You know, you would hope it would be, given that it's the same company making the software for both products. But that linking isn't perfect. I used to have this issue a lot where when I first got this, it would just randomly stop working with Wavelink. So none of my buttons would do anything for Wavelink. I couldn't mute or unmute my mics. I couldn't change my volumes or anything like that, which is what I use a lot of the Stream Deck for, is muting and unmuting mics and changing volumes of all different inputs and outputs. But it would often break, and I had this issue multiple times. I was looking all over for solutions, and I tried a bunch of things like changing the names of program files and everything like that. And sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, and I couldn't remember what worked and what didn't. Eventually, I think I figured it out, and that leads me on to my next issue, which is Windows. Now, Windows Sleep is notorious for breaking things, particularly audio settings. Shutting it down works fine. No issues when I boot it back up. When it wakes up from sleep though, the Wavelink integration straight up doesn't work. I try and press a button and it'll come up with a warning symbol saying it's not doing anything, and I can't see the names or volumes of my inputs that I have on my homepage on the Stream Deck. So yeah, that's probably the most annoying thing, and the solve that I've found for it is I just have to go into the system tray, right click on the Stream Deck and quit the Stream Deck so it fully closes everything, not just closing the app itself that you can see. It closes all running processes and then opening it again, and that resets it. So that works. It doesn't have anything to do with Wavelink. I used to think I'd have to change Wavelink things, but it seems to be a Stream Deck thing. So I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but that's probably the biggest issue that I've had, and that is how to fix it. So it's easy to fix. It's just an extra few steps every time if I want to either switch between my speakers and my headphones, or if I want to use one of my mics, then I need to go in and close Stream Deck and then open it again. So it's just like an extra couple steps, kind of annoying. So one thing that Stream Deck is really good for is multi-actions. So that is having one button do a list of things back to back to back. So you press one button and it'll mute your mic, and it'll change scene in OBS, and it'll change the volume of something. So you can have as many as you want. I have multi-actions that are just a bunch of text and a bunch of tab hotkeys. So I can enter all of the size, position, and cropping data for a clip that I'm trying to edit, particularly when I'm making my TikToks and shorts. So I'll just like click in one box, I'll press this one button on the Stream Deck, and it'll fill out the rest of them. This has always been pretty good. There was an update that decreased the delay between any two functions, and that often caused some issues. I have two multi-actions that I use, one to sleep and one to shut down my computer, which is Windows X, which brings up the power menu, and then U to shut down, or US to sleep. And when they did this update a while ago, the delays got so short that Windows wouldn't register that second or third hotkey, so it just wouldn't work. You'd press it and it wouldn't do anything. It would like open up the menu and that's it, because it could only had time to do one. The delay was too short that it couldn't open the menu and then do the next function yet. So they ended up taking that away, and now the delay feels too long. So I feel like, particularly like I was talking about before, when I'm editing and I want to fill out all the cropping and size and position data for a clip, I click it and then I have to just sit there and wait there for 5 seconds for it to be done, when, you know, it should really take only 1 or 2 seconds to do it all. I feel like it's not that difficult to do, but then, I don't know. So that's just one thing that they fixed, which kind of made it worse, and then they made it worse again in the other direction. So, and I feel like there should be a good middle ground there, where it's fast enough that you don't have to wait too long for each action to happen, but not so fast that your computer can't register that multiple things are happening. Now, one thing that I've been doing since I got the Stream Deck pedal is using multiple profiles. Because this only has 3 buttons on it, I'm going to use it for different things when I'm using different apps. So I went over these profiles that I use this for in the Stream Deck pedal unboxing video. They have changed slightly since then, but basically I have one for default where it's just, that's my regular profile. And then I have one for when OBS is open, that's what I use when I'm streaming. And then I have actually two when I'm editing, depending on which section of Resolve I'm in. But the problem with that is there's no way to easily tell which profile you have applied. For me, it's easy to tell when I have my default one or my streaming one, because when I turn my computer on, it should default to the default profile. That's why it's called the default profile. And then my streaming one, if OBS is open, it should default to that. But the problem happens when I'm maybe editing and I'm switching between my other two, and then I want to go back to my default one when I close Resolve. Now, I have buttons on the Stream Deck to switch between two profiles or to switch to a certain profile, but there's no way to have it so you can cycle through profiles and also see which profile you're on. Now, you can have a button to cycle through all your profiles, but it doesn't tell you which one you're on, so there's no way to really know without testing it. So that's probably one of the biggest things I would say is, if they're going to allow you to cycle through profiles, it should display the name of the profile on the tile on the Stream Deck, which I feel like is not a hard thing to do. What I currently have for my Resolve profiles is I have a button for each profile, and then I also have a button to switch between them, which is just a multi-action switch with only a single action in each. But the problem with the multi-action switch is you can press it and go to the same one that you were already on, so it's kind of doesn't really work well depending on what the last one you're on was. If you're switching between just those two, it's great. But if you're switching between another one, it doesn't work as well. And then I also have a tile on my Stream Deck on my main page to just switch to the default profile. So in case I was editing and I'm done editing and I just want to go back to the default profile, then I'll do that. So that's sort of how I've got around that, but I feel like they could just change it all into one button to cycle through all your profiles, which you can do, but it should tell you which one you're on, because it's really annoying to press that button and not know what you're on, and then you have to test it. That's one thing. On the Stream Deck, I have a folder where I have chat messages for my stream. There's a plugin for YouTube on Stream Deck where you can have it send a particular chat message in your own chat when you're live on YouTube. So that's really good. I thought, oh yeah, that's gonna be great. I can, if someone asks me about my computer setup or my audio setup or my camera setup or something, I can have that all written out so I don't have to say it every time. So I made these chat messages that I just like press one button on the Stream Deck, or I go into the folder, press one button, and it just posts it to my chat, which is great. Except Elgato and Google do not want to work together like that. I have to allow access for the Stream Deck to go into my YouTube account to post that on my behalf every single time. So that's just the annoying hassle sort of about it. Like, it's already linked to my YouTube account. It has it there. I have to go and add a new one, which will then just bring me back and just try to like do the sign in and allow on my YouTube account. So I just wish I didn't have to allow that permission every single time. Since my account's already there, it should just take it and post it. And it's so annoying when someone comes in the chat and I ask what my PC setup is, and I go, okay, I'll press the button, and then I have to go and allow access, and then wait again, and then if it doesn't do it, then I have to press it again, and it's just too many steps. Like, just work better with each other, Google and Elgato. Just, okay? And the last thing we're going to talk about, kind of linked to the Wavelink connection sort of breaking sometimes, is sometimes this similar sort of thing happens with Spotify. It just like stops working with Spotify. I'll press a pause button on my Stream Deck, which is great, first of all, like having a button on the Stream Deck, or even pedal. I've thought about putting a pause play button on my pedal so I don't have to reach off my controller if I'm in the middle of a game. But having that button on the Stream Deck is way better than having to like pause the game and go over to the Spotify window with my mouse and then click that and go back. So it's really great, except when you press it and it doesn't do anything. So it just breaks that connection sometimes, and I don't know why. Often you'll need to like select your device, even though it's always set to my desktop, so I don't know why I need to do that. But I just had it the other day where I'd press the pause button and it wouldn't do anything, but I pressed the play button and it would. So it just sort of was weird. So it's just like little bugs like that, I don't know, that I feel like shouldn't be happening, but again, they're just little bugs, so it's not that big of a deal. So that's it. That's pretty much all my problems with these things. That's like, they're great products, don't get me wrong. Like, I know the title maybe made it seem like I don't like them, but they are great products. I very much like them and recommend them if you're streaming in particular, or even if you just want macro keys. Like, if you want to be able to do stuff hands-free, pedal. If you just want easy access to hotkeys and heaps of other functions. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or thoughts about Stream Deck type things, or anything else for that matter, feel free to drop it in the comments. Speaking of streaming, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday night. So come check that out on this channel right here. And I also post videos every Thursday. Usually these tech sort of videos, sometimes a vlog, sometimes a tutorial type video. But again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video if you enjoyed. Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.